What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I had a complete different video planned for today, but I had to push that back because some insane information came out about just cheaters, of course, but the way that they're able to exploit these games now is absolutely mind-boggling. I don't know how we're getting to this point, but a lot of games right now are currently unplayable, and I'm really worried that Call of Duty is going to be one of them. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and hop into the topic, I do want to mention, if you guys do enjoy hearing this type of stuff all the time, you know, Call of Duty information and other FPS games, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And of course, last but not least, if you guys are interested in any type of live streams, I do that pretty much daily as well over on Kick. You can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. And usually that goes live around like 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, so let's get into the actual information of today's video. This, like I said, is insane right now. And I was going to go ahead and, you know, make a video about Battlefield 2042, the brand new season, but then I saw this pop out, and I don't think I'm going to go anywhere close to Battlefield 2042, and honestly, I'd advise a lot of you guys to avoid that game as well. I'm going to try that out that season eventually because I do want to talk about it. You know, it's been a long time since I talked about Battlefield. It used to be pretty frequent on the channel, but I don't know, you know, 2042... It got to a point where it just couldn't spark my interest anymore. It's a fun game, but it's just like, I'm still craving something a little bit more Battlefield. I'm waiting for the next title, which, God, I should have talked about that as well. It's a lot of Battlefield content I need to talk about. If you've been watching for a while now, you know I'm a little far behind here. But, again, I would advise avoiding that game right now, along with Apex Legends, pretty much anything that has easy anti-cheat, because it is just going bonkers right now. As you can see right here over on Twitter from Anti-Cheat Police Department. PSA, there is currently an RCE exploit being abused in Play Apex. It is unsure whether it comes from the game or the actual anti-cheat, you know, at Teddy EAC. I would advise against playing any games protected by EAC or any EA titles once they have fixed this or can comment. Currently, the RCE is being abused to inject cheats into streamers' machines, which means they have the capabilities to do whatever, like installing ransomware software, locking up your entire PC. Guys, this is absolutely no joke. This is the real deal here. And again, this might be happening to, you know, games with easy anti-cheat. And of course, you know, oh, we're Team Ricochet over here, right? Ricochet isn't any better, not even in the slightest. Ricochet is actually, a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? If you guys remember from that, you know, cheating video that we saw and we discussed a little bit on this channel, you know, they're claiming that this is the worst anti-cheat. This is like bottom of the barrel type stuff, okay? The anti-cheat that we have in Modern Warfare 3 is just straight up garbage. And if this can happen to, you know, all the EA titles, Call of Duty's not safe whatsoever. And I would expect this stuff to happen very shortly in that game as well. But basically, what they're able to do here, for anybody who doesn't understand what's going on, is they have full access of your actual PC, okay? So, for example, just recently, Apex Legends, they were having, you know, a competitive tournament, and one of the pro players actually got injected with the cheats. The guy was right there. He was going crazy. I think he was spamming in the chat box as well, his, you know, not his IP, but, you know, his stuff saying that he was cheating and all that nonsense. It was just crazy stuff, and of course, you know, we did our research. The guy wasn't cheating. I'll actually leave the link to that clip down in the description of this video if you guys are interested in checking it out for yourself. But, you know, it's insane. They have full control over your PC. I don't think people understand this. They can do whatever they want. They can literally install cheats onto your PC, okay, while you're playing the game and activate them. They can basically shut down your whole thing. You know, they can literally, no, I'm not lying, they can destroy your PC, your great hardware, especially if you paid a lot of money for that bad boy. They can quite literally destroy it, okay, and ruin it, and it's not going to come back. They can do whatever they want. That's how serious this is right now. And, you know, if we can get to that point when it comes to PC players dealing with all this stuff, console players, I know, you know, you're not going to run into the same situations, but trust me, it's not any better. They're still able to do a ton of stuff to you guys as well. This isn't safe at all, anywhere close to it, and this needs to be addressed instantly. But again, as I said, this is the destruction of gaming. You know, it's literally showing up right in front of our faces. I can't believe it. But cheaters are at an all-time high. I never thought I would witness this today, because for the longest time, let's be real here, cheaters have been frequent. You know, it's a reason why, you know, people always claim cheaters are around, cheating channels are blowing up, and tons of people support that type of stuff. You know, cheating isn't anything new, right? But I feel like we've all been accustomed to, you know, newer games not having that many cheaters, and if there are cheaters, maybe it's like aimbot, wall hacks, and all that stuff. UAV, constant UAVs, stuff of that sort. And, all the crazy stuff is on the OG titles when they just completely abandon the game and nobody's watching over and stuff like that. And, of course, they still, I guess something's there, but it's nothing to stop cheats, right? You have people with straight up mod menus taking over your whole accounts and stuff like that. It's kind of dangerous to play some of those OG games. It really is. And well, mostly on PC. Is it like that on console? I don't know if it's really like that on console, but on PC, yeah, it's pretty risky. You want to play on something like Plutonium or something else of that sorts. That will help out tremendously with your experience. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. But that's where you used to see the cheats. In those old titles, those old Call of Duty games, and old games in general. It doesn't matter what franchise it is. The older the game, that's usually where you see the crazier cheats. Those cheats are in our current day games, ladies and gentlemen. That's how bad it is. You are literally getting the same exact experience as going back to a game from 10 years ago and, seeing how rampant it is. That's exactly what you're getting nowadays. It's killing gaming. I never thought I'd see it, but these freaking publishers, these massive corporations, Activision, EA, so on and so forth, and I'm looking at Microsoft now because, they own Activision. They have to do something about Ricochet here. They really do. It's their responsibility as well. But all of these people, they gotta put in some work. Seriously, you have to focus on it. I know it's not profitable. And I know putting together a good anti-cheat isn't going to, be outstanding for your shareholders. They're not going to be clapping their hands and, screaming your name for announcing that you're upgrading your anti-cheat. They probably won't give a crap. And it might even hurt you in the long run when it comes to, support in certain areas. But if we're going to be real here, that's what has to be done. Because if that doesn't happen, then guess what? Players are going to start dropping like flies. And that's going to hurt even more the shareholders, seeing that the player retention and just player counts in general are just blowing away into the wind. And nobody cares about gaming anymore, meaning, a reduction in sales. This is going to be a very bad decline. Honestly, I feel like the best thing about gaming is going to be single-player games soon. And I wonder if that's what's going on here because, these companies have way more directions to push than just simply with, some of these games. For example, Activision isn't just Call of Duty, right? They have so many other titles, including Candy Crush, a mobile game. So, they have a lot of stuff under their belt that brings in a lot of money. More money than a lot of these games here. They don't necessarily have to worry too much about the anti-cheat because at the end of the day, stuff like that always excels. But besides that point, I feel like single-player games are seriously going to be the future at some point here. Nobody's going to want to play competitive games anymore because there's always going to be cheats. There's always going to be cheats. And the amount of focus that Activision has or any of these massive publishers have on, going ahead and working on that stuff is non-existent. They just simply don't care. They really don't, and that just leads to the downfall of gaming in general. But ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, try to avoid Battlefield 2042 for, a little time here. I personally want to play the new season. I do. And I heard they did some crazy things. Aren't they adding visual recoil to the weapons? That's absurd, man. I can't believe they're actually doing that, but I guess, we'll see how it turns out. I don't know. It sounds interesting, like something that's different because I haven't played the game in a long time, so it might feel fresh. And, I love Battlefield. You guys know me. I talked about it a lot. I enjoy the vibes of Battlefield, and I know the differences, obviously, of COD and Battlefield. But it's just not safe right now. It's not okay to hop into that experience, in my personal opinion. I know these clips are from Apex, but I think it's all the games across the board. I think it's actually a list out there as well. I think it's 100+ titles that are dangerous to play right now that could seriously affect your actual PC itself. It's not good to hop into that experience. So, with that being said, I would say take some time, maybe hop back in later, and wait until this is all addressed. But for the future of gaming as a whole, this isn't a good look, and it's not just right now. It's not, right with this moment where they're really getting deep into Battlefield and Apex and all that stuff. No, this has been going on all year long, right? We've seen this with Call of Duty for a long time. Ricochet has already been getting pounded time and time and time and time again. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while now, you've seen plenty of videos of mine where I've discussed what type of cheats are in these games and how bad they are and what they're doing to a lot of you players out there. So, we already know this whole year, how bad cheating has been, but this right here tops it all off. And if this is possible, that only means it can get worse. Just like how when I always say, Activision can always do something more worse than what they just did. Yeah, same thing when it comes to anti-cheat. It's always more possibilities out there. We are always going to see insane upgrades. And I can't deny. I am curious. You know, I can't deny it. I am curious to see what these freaking losers are going to be able to come up with. But at the same time, gaming might just get screwed over. I think people are going to go back to single-player games and enjoy those games and experiences. They'll be less sweaty, no cheaters, and you could just kick back and have a good time. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in any live streams, I do that over on Kick pretty much daily besides Sundays. You guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. As always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.